Why is it that every single day we feel like we are drowning in a relentless, unforgiving ocean of notifications? Why do we check our phones hundreds of times only to feel more empty, more anxious, and less present than before? We live in an era that promised connection and delivered distraction, an age where the greatest luxury is not wealth, but silence. Look around you. Watch the faces on the street, in the cafe, and even in your own home. They are illuminated by the blue light of a screen. Their attention fractured, their peace stolen by an invisible yet crushing weight. This isn't just about managing your screen time. This is a crisis of the soul. We have outsourced our attention, our focus, and tragically, our inner peace to algorithms and devices designed to keep us perpetually unsettled. Before the smartphone, before the internet, and before the 24/7 news cycle, great thinkers grappled with the very nature of human anxiety and how to find tranquility in chaos. Their wisdom, once a guide for kings and philosophers, is now the most urgent lifeline for us, the digital citizens of the 21st century. What if the solution to our modern digital disease was already discovered 2,000 years ago, nestled in the ancient philosophy of Stoicism? Stay with us as we journey back in time to retrieve the peace that the hyper-connected world has stolen. What exactly is Stoicism? It's often misunderstood as merely a grim suppression of emotion, a stiff upper lip in the face of adversity. But true Stoicism is a profound, practical philosophy for living well, a toolkit for navigating the inevitable challenges of human existence. Founded in Athens around 300 BC, it was never an academic pursuit for hermits. It was a way of life for statesmen, slaves, emperors, and merchants. Its core promise is simple: to help us cultivate inner peace or autoroxia in a world that is inherently chaotic. The irony is that the Stoics, who faced political upheaval, famine, and war, provided the perfect psychological defense against the unique stresses of our modern hyper-connected age. Their principles are not relics. They are operating instructions for the human mind when confronted with endless, instantaneous stimulation. In a world saturated with external demands, Stoicism offers an internal anchor. We are going to explore how the wisdom of men who never saw an electric light can illuminate the darkness of our digital overload. We will learn how to transition from being a passive recipient of every alert and headline to becoming the intentional architect of our own attention and well-being. To cure a disease, we must first understand its symptoms. The hyperconnected world has created a new kind of human suffering characterized by three pervasive afflictions: mental exhaustion and anxiety, chronic distraction, and the illusion of control. Our minds are not designed for the constant staccato rhythm of pings and scrolls. Each notification, a news alert, a comment, an email, is a micro-demand on our attention, forcing a context switch that drains cognitive energy and spikes cortisol levels. We are always on call, leading to a state of low-grade, perpetual anxiety, often termed alert fatigue. We suffer from fear of missing out, FOMO, not just on social events, but on the crucial information that we feel we must process to remain relevant. Our attention spans are shattering, making deep work, deep thought, and deep relationships increasingly difficult. Distraction isn't just an inconvenience, it is a moral hazard that keeps us from living a life of meaning. Furthermore, the digital world fosters the illusion of control. We click, we refresh, we argue, and we doom scroll, believing that if we just consume enough information, we can manage the world's chaos. But this consumption only deepens our feeling of helplessness, tying our inner state to external events, a perfect recipe for misery. We are sacrificing our present moments for a future that is constantly being interrupted by the demands of the digital past. This is the crisis that Stoicism is uniquely positioned to solve. The core of Stoic wisdom provides the antidote to digital overwhelm, resting on two foundational pillars championed by figures like Epictetus, the former slave, and Marcus Aurelius, the emperor-philosopher. 1. The dichotomy of control, Epictetus. Epictetus famously taught that some things are within our power and others are not. Our opinions, impulses, desires, and judgments are internal and ours alone to command. Everything else, our body, reputation, possessions, and the behavior of others, is external and beyond our ultimate control. The digital world is almost entirely a landscape of externals. The number of likes on your post, the tone of a stranger's tweet, the breaking news headlines, and the opinions of commentators. By dedicating our emotional energy to these externals, we set ourselves up for disappointment and anxiety. The Stoic lesson is to draw a clear line. Can I directly affect this? If the answer is no, we practice mindful indifference, or adiaphora, refusing to grant the external event power over our inner peace. We shift our focus from controlling the endless stream of digital information to controlling our own reaction to that stream. This single principle is the master key to unlocking digital freedom.
2. The practice of inner citadel from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, ruling an empire under siege, wrote in his Meditations about building an inner citadel, a fortress of the mind that no external storm could breach. This is not isolation, but mental sovereignty. It means recognizing that our happiness depends on the quality of our thoughts. When the digital world screams for our attention, trying to drag us into outrage or distraction, the inner citadel is where we retreat. It means actively judging our impressions, asking, is this notification truly necessary? Does this social media feed align with my values? Is this outrage I feel worth sacrificing my peace over? The power of the mind, as Aurelius knew it, is its ability to withdraw and find stillness. The hyperconnected world bombards us with impressions. Stoicism teaches us to be the gatekeeper, allowing only productive and peaceful thoughts entry into our fortress. How do we take these powerful, ancient ideas and apply them directly to the glowing screen in our pocket? A. Taming social media, premeditation of evils. Social media is a curated highlight reel designed to provoke comparison and envy. The Stoic practice of premeditation of malorum helps here. Before opening an app, we can mentally prepare for the potential negative outcomes. I am about to see filtered images and biased opinions. This will likely trigger envy or irritation. I will not compare my real life to their curated fantasy. By mentally rehearsing the worst-case scenario, the loss of peace, we immunize ourselves against its emotional sting. We engage with intentionality, not compulsion. B. Mastering notifications, controlling judgments. Notifications are the digital world's relentless attempt to externalize our locus of control. The Stoic response is to realize that the sound or vibration is merely a sensory input. It has no inherent power. The power comes from our judgment. I must answer this immediately. we must challenge this automatic judgment. We apply the dichotomy of control. We cannot control when the notification is sent, but we can control when we look at it, often by turning off all non-essential alerts. We treat our phone not as an emergency broadcast system, but as a tool we wield deliberately. 3. Overcoming digital overload, virtue and priority. Stoicism centers on the cultivation of 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. We must ask, does endless scrolling demonstrate temperance, self-control? Does the consumption of digital outrage cultivate justice, fairness, and good relationships? The answer is often no. True productivity, a form of practical wisdom, requires focus and intentionality. Digital overload is overcome when we prioritize virtuous action, e.g., meaningful work, deep conversation, rest, over the passive consumption of entertainment and distraction. Our digital choices should reflect our highest values, not our lowest impulses. A philosophy is useless without practice. Here are 3 simple, actionable Stoic techniques to reclaim your attention and peace starting today. 1. The morning reflection, setting the intent. Before you touch your phone, take 5 minutes for a Stoic morning practice. Ask yourself, what is within my control today and what is not? What potential digital distractions will I encounter and how will I react with virtue? This practice preloads your mind with intentionality, ensuring your day is driven by your values, not the values of your device's programmers. 2. The Stoic Journal. Evening review. Before bed, spend a few minutes journaling, following the advice of Seneca. Review your digital interactions. When did I lose my peace today? Was it worth it? When did I react impulsively to a notification or a comment? When did I use my phone as a tool, and when did it use me as an object? This objective self-assessment builds the mental muscle of self-awareness, allowing you to learn from your mistakes and strengthen your resolve for the following day. 3. Digital Minimalism, practicing hardship. Seneca often advised practicing voluntary hardship to make real hardship easier to bear. Apply this to your digital life. Commit to 1 day a week of near total digital silence. Delete one app that causes you anxiety. Put your phone away for 1 hour every evening to engage fully with a loved one, a book, or a quiet hobby. These small acts of voluntary discipline are exercises in true freedom, proven to yourself that your peace is not dependent on the screen. We have seen that the relentless noise of the digital world is not a force of nature, it is a landscape of external events. And like the Stoics of old, we have the profound, innate ability to withdraw our consent from that noise. Peace is not found in an inbox that is finally empty, a newsfeed that is finally calm, or a social media tally that is finally satisfying. Those external conditions are perpetually beyond our power. Peace comes from within. It is an internal choice, not an external circumstance. It is found in the quiet, confident recognition that you are the master of your judgments, the commander of your attention, and the ultimate sovereign of your inner life. This philosophy does not ask you to abandon your tools, but to use them mindfully. It asks you to stop being tossed about by the digital tide, and instead to anchor your mind to the unshakable wisdom of self-control. This journey from digital slave to Stoic sovereign is the most important journey you will ever take. The time for passive consumption is over. The time to reclaim your attention is now. We've given you the ancient roadmap. The first step is simply to begin. We encourage you to choose one practical tip, the morning reflection, the evening review, or a moment of digital minimalism, and commit to it for the next 7 days. Do not wait for the chaos to quiet down. Create your own silence. Share this video with one friend who you know is struggling with digital overload. It is an act of justice and compassion. Let's build a community of intentional, peaceful users. Subscribe to Wisdom of Stoic for more guides on applying ancient philosophy to modern life. Now, turn off your notifications, close the apps, and spend the next 5 minutes in total intentional silence. Your journey to inner peace starts with that single, silent choice.